Alright guys, Honey Jefe here. It's May 31st. It's part 3, cow pasture apiary. Alright, so this is what I've decided to do here. I'm trying to clean up. Oh man, it's like that sun. Let me do this. Can I get that out of the way? I need to clean up the inside of the fence there. It's probably more important to do that in the immediate perimeter, but I got a bunch of frames that are just old. See all those frames down there? You see a few of them stacked on top of each other. Like I've got deeps full of that kind of stuff. And so I've taken some advice. I guess as Bob Benny was saying, you know, probably rotate your frames and comb out, I guess about 20% a year. And so that's kind of what I've done. But so those frames have been back on the back on the ground behind me. I'm not throwing them away. I don't feel like dragging them home right now, but I'm getting them out from behind my feet. I've got several supers in the back there. So this is my recap, by the way. Let me pull forward here. I'm just trying to get that sun out of the way. Man, it's hard for me to hold my arms like this. All right, so the first 4 hives, all those over there are splits. They all look like queen right. They all look like they have brood. None of them are ready for an additional box or a super, except for the ones that already have them. So the first and third, those were added a week or so ago. They look like they're coming along strong. The second and fourth are looking okay. They've got brood in the boxes, but there's not enough in there to justify adding a second box at this time. So there's a lot of foundation in there. And so I have added Pro Sweet and water. When I say I'm feeding them, that's what I'm referring to right now. So about 60% water, 40% Pro Sweet in a jar. Big time beekeeper told me yesterday or the day before, like, oh, they're going, you know, all that's going to loop down to the bottom. Yeah, it probably will. All that Pro Sweet. It's not homogeneous. It's okay. I don't care, but it is watered down. And if they get some part of the solution of the sweet Pro Sweet feed there, that's more than 1-to-1. They're going to put it where they need to put it. It'll be stored as nectar or whatever, and if they get another part that's 1-to-1, they'll use it to build comb. I'm not so worried about it. I don't have a tote full of that stuff, so that's why I'm not worried about how it's gonna mix in a container that's a gallon or 2 container or a quart. The bees will make do with it. It's just too big a hassle to try to, stir it up, in my opinion. Anyway, it was kind of irritating to hear that yesterday. And I was like, well, what do you do? He's like, well, I've got an agitator. Okay. Yep, 400-gallon tote. It's got an agitator, and it just mixes it continuously. It's like, okay, well, I'm not doing that. But you're agitating me. No, he really wasn't. All right, so the first full hive with all the supers on top, it's got 4 supers on there. This was really the last one that I came to today in this yard. I worked through all of them. Let me see. Looking for brood, looking to see if these, certain ones needed a box or if some double deeps needed their first super. And this is the last one on my way back to see where I could put my last 2 supers, and they just happened to go right there. They definitely needed 1 super, and I just took a gamble and added a 2nd super. So they got 2 empty supers on there. Yeah. So you can see I added cards on there. So that one's a 3 of something. I don't know, I can't zoom in anymore. But anyway, I don't think I added a super to it. I think that one has been there. I did take off some jar feeders that had supers on them because I didn't want to, I needed to use them somewhere else, maybe over here. I think I added 1 box. I think that's it right there. This one right there. That's 1 box. Added today, I believe. I was hoping to add another box or 2 or 3 today, and out of these 2 yards, this one in the Savannah Apiary, I added 1 full deep box. So because there's no honey super on there, I fed these guys as well. The next one has got 3 supers on top of it. I glare in the sun there. I added a super there, so that was a 3rd super. I had 4 supers to add today in this yard, and I added it over here. I'll get to that in a second. So the next one is like an ace of hearts. It's got the white super, the broken center block on top. I don't think that one was quite ready. You know, there's fixing to be like a huge just tallow flow. We're just now kind of like South Louisiana, they've reported like just kind of now starting to get into it, and they're usually a week or 2 ahead of us and everything. So we do have tallow flowing for sure, but I think it's going to be like really picking up here pretty soon. So I kind of take a gamble on some of these hives that the flow is going to help pick things up. I don't want to be behind. Anyway, the next deep, double deep there with no super, nothing special in there. I think this one with the white super on top and the brown one underneath it with the white top brood box, I think that added that super today. The next one is the 4 of clubs. I can see it from here. It's a I'm kind of worried about that one. I added some syrup to it. I think that one might be the one that might be queenless. I think it has a Caucasian queen in there. I didn't stand the brick up. Anyway, this next one here, the 5 of hearts, I added a 3rd super on top of it, I believe today. And the 7 of spades, the second to last one on the right. Maybe I added that today. Crap, I don't know. I'm getting them all mixed up. But I did end up adding 4 supers today. None of the double deeps were ready for a super. Only 1 single deep was ready for a 2nd box. None of the splits were ready for another box. And that's it. You see the last one here, I got the brick up. That was a Caucasian queen. I think I'm a little bit concerned about that one. I didn't see a ton of activity. But like I mentioned in the video, you know what? And the camera shut out on me. It died. So I won't even be able to go back and confirm it, but I believe, because of my experience of assuming that the hive was empty with just a bunch of bees in there and no queen and nothing hatching, or no brood, nothing like that. I have broken down so many bee boxes, and there's been a couple of times, especially last year, where I just said screw it and I'll come back to it later, and I come back to it less than a week and there's cat brood all over it. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe that's the case with a few of these hives. Also, I know the Caucasian queens, they tend to brood small early on, and then they explode in population, and you know, when the honey flow is at its best, and then they start breaking down to a smaller cluster right before winter. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe that's what's going on. Combination of that. So I'm giving some of these bees the benefit of the doubt. Let's drive around here. Yes, I'm really tired. This should not be so. Get so tired so quickly. It takes a lot of energy just to hold things now. All that. That's pretty. I would love to go out there and just fish, even though I'll be back down to normal here in a few days. This looks pretty good. Also, I did come by and go through a lot of those boxes, like all four of the splits on the far right. I added beetle traps and Swiffer sheets on almost every one of these hives, not all of them. I only had 10 small hive beetle traps left. I found the ones that I bought yesterday. And I added Swiffer sheets to quite a bit of them, but there's still a few I need to go through to add. And not just in this apiary, but all of them. And I bought some permethrin. I want to use that at the green apiary, where I just can't seem to get rid of the beetles. Anyway. But once I get all my supers on and get everything where I need it to, you know, add second boxes and things like that for the splits and get those established, I'll come out here and I will focus on mowing these guys and then picking up some of the trash. I can't pick up all that over there until I get my trailer. But as far as keeping it clean, working on this fence, yeah, I can do that then. I need to get all my honey supers on first. All right, I'm just rambling on, guys. These cows are looking at me. They're hungry. They want some food. Look at that one right there. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching the recap, if you're watching. It's Honey Jefe right here. Just look me up. Shoot me a message. Doesn't matter. It's Honey Jefe. It's Honey with a J. It's Jeff with one F between two E's. That's Honey Boss. This is my office.